Tom is sitting across from me, looking absolutely defeated. For the past 4 months, he's done everything by the book. He trains 5 days a week with perfect form and progressive overload. His nutrition is dialed in with precise macros and meal timing. He gets 7 to 8 hours of quality sleep every night. On paper, Tom should be a transformation success story. Instead, he's hit a wall that makes no sense. His energy crashes by 2 p.m. daily. His workouts feel like he's moving through concrete. His brain fog is so thick he can barely concentrate at work. And despite eating in a caloric deficit, he's constantly battling intense cravings that make him feel like he's fighting his own biology. I'm Cooper, and after 20 minutes of questions, I discovered Tom's missing link. It wasn't his training program, his macros, or his sleep schedule. It was something so basic that most people completely overlook it. Tom was chronically dehydrated and had no idea. When I asked about his water intake, he proudly told me he drinks plenty of water throughout the day. But when we actually tracked it, his plenty was 3 to 4 glasses daily. At 190 pounds, Tom needed a minimum of 95 ounces of water per day. He was consuming less than 30 ounces. That's not even 1/3 of his baseline requirement. And that's before accounting for his morning coffee, his post-workout protein shake, or the fact that he lives in a climate-controlled office all day. Here's the science that will change how you think about hydration forever. Your thirst mechanism isn't a reliable indicator of your hydration status. By the time you feel thirsty, you're already dehydrated. Even 2% dehydration can reduce your physical and cognitive performance by 10 to 20%. Think about that. If you're lifting 200 pounds when properly hydrated, being just 2% dehydrated drops your strength to 160 to 180 pounds. If you're running an 8-minute mile when hydrated, dehydration turns that into a 9 to 10-minute mile. But the performance impact is just the beginning. Proper hydration affects every system in your body that matters for transformation. Your blood is roughly 90% water, which means dehydration reduces your body's ability to transport nutrients to working muscles and remove metabolic waste products. Poor waste removal means slower recovery, increased inflammation, and that constant feeling of heaviness that Tom described. Dehydration also disrupts appetite regulation because your brain often misinterprets thirst signals as hunger. Tom's intense cravings weren't willpower failures. They were his dehydrated brain desperately seeking any source of fluid, and processed foods high in sodium and sugar provide quick fluid retention. The cognitive effects are equally devastating. Your brain is roughly 75% water, and even mild dehydration reduces concentration, memory, and decision-making capacity. Tom's afternoon brain fog wasn't from blood sugar crashes or caffeine withdrawal. It was his dehydrated brain struggling to function efficiently. When I explained this to him, everything clicked. His worst energy crashes happened on days when he was busy and forgot to drink water until late afternoon. Here's the practical framework that transformed Tom's life. Aim for half your body weight in ounces as your baseline hydration target. A 200-pound person needs 100 ounces minimum. A 140-pound person needs 70 ounces minimum. This isn't negotiable. It's basic human physiology. But here's where most people get tripped up. Coffee and alcohol are diuretics. They don't just fail to hydrate you, they actively dehydrate you. For every cup of coffee or alcoholic drink you consume, add 8 to 16 ounces of additional water to compensate. Tom's revelation was immediate and dramatic. At 190 pounds, his baseline was 95 ounces. Add his 2 morning coffees, and he needed an additional 16 to 32 ounces just to break even. Add his post-workout protein shake mixed with milk, and he needed even more. What he thought was plenty of water wasn't even covering his coffee consumption, let alone his actual physiological needs. Within 7 days of proper hydration, Tom's transformation was remarkable. His energy stayed stable throughout the day. His workouts felt powerful and controlled instead of sluggish and forced. His brain fog disappeared completely. His recovery improved so dramatically that he could handle higher training volume without the constant muscle soreness and joint stiffness he'd accepted as normal. Most surprisingly, his intense cravings vanished. His body stopped confusing thirst for hunger, and his appetite regulated naturally around his actual nutritional needs. The signs of chronic dehydration are everywhere once you know what to look for. Dark yellow urine instead of pale yellow or clear. Constant fatigue despite adequate sleep. Brain fog and poor concentration. Persistent hunger and cravings even after meals. Poor exercise recovery and frequent muscle cramps. headaches that seem to come from nowhere. If any of this sounds familiar, you're likely fighting the same battle Tom was fighting. Your challenge this week is simple, but transformative. Track your water intake for 7 days. Calculate your baseline target using the half your body weight in ounces formula. Monitor your urine color as a real-time hydration indicator. Notice how your energy, performance, recovery, and appetite change as you hit your hydration targets consistently. Most importantly, compensate for coffee and alcohol consumption with additional water. I'm Cooper, and that's your Raw Daily Fuel. Remember, you can't out-train, out-eat, or out-sleep chronic dehydration. If this resonated with you, subscribe to Raw Daily Fuel. Diverse voices, global perspectives, one mission. Giving you the fundamentals that actually matter.